All right, recording is rolling. It is Wednesday, February 1st, and I have a couple of activities for you guys lined up. I'll take you guys through each one. All right, so one of them is what I promised yesterday. I gave you guys this template, so all of you guys have this template printed right now. You guys got some scissors and glue. If you cut it out and figure out how to glue it together, and so it takes a little bit of thinking there. Let me switch my screen over and remind you guys what this should look like. Right. So, okay, this video over here. Okay, so remember, your brain wants to make this face look convex, right? Because that's what faces look like, right? It's not really movement; it's just a still thing, right? Now, if the camera moves enough, then it breaks the illusion. Okay, here, you need a dinosaur. Here, get your dinosaur. Here you go. Dinosaur. Right. Yeah, so really it's a concave. So you have to glue it so that it's concave, right? Yeah, on that shelf all the way in the back and all the way to the bottom. There's some parts on it. Okay. All right, so that's that one. You're gonna pause that. Right. So you're gonna glue it concave, and then might trick your brain with convex. Okay. And I have a second activity lined up for you guys. And as long as you're working on both of these, I will give you guys points for each of these in the grade book. So you guys have a couple of papers with grids on them. Right? One's like traditional looking like graph paper, right? You guys see it's got 1 centimeter squared. And the other is like this perspective paper. You guys see like the lines that like perspective, right? Let me show you guys what that is about. So flip my screen over again. Let's bump this guy and bring in. Oh, that's what I need.
Wait, do we need two of them?
Just one. Yeah, just one. Okay. Have you guys ever seen a sidewalk art like this? Right, where it looks three-dimensional, even though. Right. So for this to work, the catch is that you have to be at like one specific place. Like in this case, like wherever the camera is. There's a particular artist. His name's Nicola Arndt. Yeah. That did these particular ones, right? Right. So like these pandas here, right? They look like three-dimensional, like they're sitting there along with the sky. But if you were actually there on the street, if you move any place that's not exactly where the camera is, it would look like okay, they're actually like just flat, like on the sidewalk, right? But it would look all warped, wouldn't it? Like you start thinking about it,
They look kind of
like all these panda heads from our point of view, yeah, they look like about the same size. Okay, they're all like same size panda. But if you were actually there on the sidewalk, guys, which panda head would be bigger? The one which would take more chalk?
one on the bottom.
I'm thinking like the further back it goes, it would take like more area on the sidewalk and take more chalk to make it, right? Okay. Yeah, like the further back it is, right? Right. Because like from our point of view, like further back things get tinier and tinier. So if they look like the same size, well, it must actually take a lot more chalk. It must actually be bigger. Here's some more examples of these things. All right, so ooh, yeah, look at that. All right. Now there's an actual like person here just like sitting on the sidewalk, but just the perspective looks like she's riding a horse like out of this hole from the ground. Some fires. Oh yeah, I will get you guys a take-home quiz by the end of today, and that'll be due on Monday. So we're eventually getting there too. All right. So yes, so this class period, you guys can focus on each of these projects. And so let's bring this back over here. All right, and I will show you guys exactly how to do that. So the way you do that, you start with this perspective paper. You guys see this is the half page of perspective paper, right? And just think of something that you want to draw. Oh, that's what I forgot to show you guys. I was going to show you guys an actual example from the past. Let's see. Okay, I got a couple examples here. All right. So this is one I made on a whiteboard back in the day. Now, this could be one of two things, and it's kind of hard to tell. Is this the perspective paper where I just drew a regular cube? Or is this like regular squares with the blue ink, and then they like turn the camera so I'm looking way up on the whiteboard. It's kind of ambiguous. It's hard to tell. Here's kind of what I mean, right? If you put these two side by side, right? Like you guys have two grids in front of you. You have like a perspective paper and you have the regular graph paper. Now, I'm gonna have you guys start with the perspective paper and just draw something. It could be anything, okay? And then you're gonna match like coordinate for coordinate over to the regular graph paper, right? And that'd be like being like one of those sidewalk artists who starts with the final picture that they're going for, right? And then maps it on the perspective paper and says, okay, well, how's this going to translate actually over to the sidewalk, right? So you're going from left to right, right? And then you match the coordinates. Okay, so this coordinate goes here, this coordinate goes here. Like you can count up like so many squares up, so many squares over, kind of like your Cartesian grid, right? And then on the actual graph paper, it looks all wonky and out of shape, right? But if you like turn the camera, so like below, then it goes back to like looking like a cube again. Sort of, right? Like here, this one and this one, like if you get it at the right angle, it's kind of hard to tell them apart. I mean, I guess you can, right? But it's like okay. Give you guys another example. All right. So a student made this back in the day. Now this is like the final result, but there's what it looks like from above, right? So from above, it looks all wonky, but if you get down, right, at this like skewed angle, it's like, oh, hey, it looks like a pile of pancakes just like pop out of the page. All right, so let's flip back over here, okay, and I'll do one with you guys. So maybe maybe I want to draw. How about a giant baseball? That's a little bit weird. It's like a round type shape, right? So I'm going to draw a giant baseball. How about that? Right, so notice I'm drawing on the perspective paper. Right, they'll like draw the seams, maybe something like this. Okay. I'll keep it really like cartoonish. I'm not going to draw all the little threads and stuff. So maybe a tennis ball. Maybe I should call it a tennis ball, right? Let's go like that. Okay. And so what's this tennis ball going to look like, say like on an actual sidewalk? So now we're going to take the sidewalk artist. We got a bucket of chalk. We're going out to the sidewalk. We got to start like marking stuff down. Okay. So that's where this the actual graph paper comes in. Okay. Now we're going to count like how wide is this tennis ball and how far back does it go? Now it looks like it's okay. So it's middle. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like about 5 tiles wide about, right? But it goes way back into the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it's like 5 tiles wide about and like 9 tiles back into the page. So that's what I have to like map on this paper. Now, what you might want to do is blow it up by a factor of 2, possibly. You don't have to, but you could. Okay. So I could do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. I could every 2 centimeters could be like a tile. You could be like that. This is a centimeter graph paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How about that? Okay. Okay. So now I have this 3, 4, this 5 by 9 grid that would match with my perspective paper. Maybe I can take a minute and just put the dots where they go, so I can see really clearly what's going to match with what. And I got like it's 5 by 9. Because it depends on the size of the picture that you drew. Okay. So I'm going to map. Oh, okay. Get the rest of these dots. Boom. There you go. Okay. So that will be the space for my tennis ball. So I'm going to map this tennis ball onto that space where I just put the dots, right? And it's going to line up. Okay. So let's see. I pick a few points. Like that's a point, that's a point, that's a point that looks like matters. Maybe pick this point kind of randomly. About this point, this point, this point. Okay. I'm just mapping a bunch of points. Right? Okay. And as long as I match them up like 1 to 1, like where every dot goes, I'm just making a bunch of random dots. Okay, what about these lines? Okay. Dots like here. Okay. And then once I get a bunch of dots down, then I can just draw like smooth curves to connect them about where they go. Okay. So made a bunch of individual points and I'm going to map like Cartesian coordinates sort of. Okay, so this is going to fit. Okay. So let's see. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it looks like my third row right here is one of my dots. Boom. Right, that's like that dot right there. Okay. Looks like this dot It's like right about here. All right, then up to the corner of this square, that's like right about there. Here, let me throw another one right here. A couple right there. So it's gonna go like cut this corner right about there. This one goes up right about here. Okay, then I'm just gonna get 2 squares. Woo, like 2.5. Go over all the way to the edge. 1, 2.5, half. All right, that'll put it right about there. All right. Then this goes up another 1.5 right to that point. That's that point. All right, then another 1.5 back this way, like that point. All right, and then 1.5. Then just count these. I think I did. Maybe it's like 5 by 10. All right. Goes up to about this corner. Okay. And this one is this one. This one goes back down here. All right. Then I'm gonna go down to over 1.5. It's like, well, not quite 1.5, maybe 1 1/3, maybe about right there. Right. Throwing an extra point right there. So it's like down to over a little bit. Right. Then like down 1 and a bit, over a little bit. It's like right there. Right. And then down like 2.5. Hold on. No. Well, maybe like 2.25. Like 1, 2. Like right about there. There's a point. Okay, all right, and then back where I started. Ooh, see how it looks like a elongated shape, like an egg, right? No, that's right. That's what that should look like. I think a couple of points here. Okay, so this one's like this one. All right, that one, it's like that one. Okay. So then this point is like this point. This point is like this point. This point is like here. Yeah, those looks good. Right, and that point's like that point. Okay. Right, so there's like a stripe on the tennis ball. Going like that. There's a stripe on the tennis ball. Okay. And then I need this other stripe on the tennis ball. So I got these 3 dots are these 3 dots. This one's this guy. Bam, that's where the stripe's gonna start. Okay, cover this corner, that's that point. This point is this point. This point is this point. And this point is this point. Bam. Okay. So there's my other stripe right there. Go ahead and make the outline of the tennis ball, which again, like from a helicopter view, like looking straight down, looks like a really elongated egg. Like what? It's supposed to be like a tennis ball. But it will look like a tennis ball as long as you stand at the right place. Right? And what I'm about to do is to rotate this paper. And as long as either your eye or the camera is at just the right spot, right, where it would like match the perspective, this perspective paper, right, it should pop out like a tennis ball or be pretty close to doing that. So let's see. Right. Right now I've got 2 cameras for an audience. I've got the video that's recording, and I got you guys on the projection. So that's right. So maybe we'll start with you guys in class. I'll try to just get this just the right point for you guys in class. Ooh, right about there, pretty close. Right, this little curvature to the paper goes off a little bit, but okay. That look from your guys' point of view, pretty much like a tennis ball popping out of the page.
No,
Pretty close, right?
no.
Well, it's as close as I can get. Right, and then if you're watching a video at home, let me get it for you guys. All right. So no, if you're sitting in class, it doesn't matter anymore. But if you're watching a video at home, let's see.
Wait, can I see that other thing again?
Yeah, hang tight. I'll flash back. All right, so video at home, that's pretty close to a tennis ball, like right about there. It's pretty close. Like a tennis ball popping on the page. Right, yeah. So which one do you want to see?
Oh, the tennis ball.
Okay, so here. So you started with the perspective paper, you just drew like a regular picture, right? And then I made a bunch of points and then mapped the points 1 for 1, right? And then it looks all stretched out. But then if you like, get down close to the table, you're like looking like from this point of view, right? Or if I rotate the paper, then it should look more like a regular tennis ball again.
Right, it does, oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, I thought you meant like, it was supposed to be like a 3D tennis ball.
Well, you know, we're doing like a simplified version, but you know, if you got like a more complex object and you have the chalk and you're doing like shadowing and you know, like the pandas, the horses, and the bears, right? Like,
Right,
ooh,
true, true.
looks like it's stand out. Right? Okay. All right, so go ahead. You guys got that project, and of course the 3D Rex you guys can glue together. Remember, you want to glue this together concave, and then you know, if the illusion works, then the brain might trick you to make it looks convex. All right, so you guys got the rest of the class to do that, and as long as you're working on it, I will give you guys points in the grade book.